Most traders don't lose money because they take bad trades, they lose money because they can't hold the good ones. And that's a much bigger problem than people realize. Because getting into a profitable trade is not that rare, but staying in it, that's where almost everyone fails. Let me explain. At the beginning of a trade, everything is uncertain. You enter with a plan, you know your levels, you accept your risk, and you are prepared for it to go either way. But then something interesting happens. The trade starts working, price moves in your favor, you are in profit, and instead of feeling confident, you feel something else. You feel pressure. You start thinking, what if it comes back? What if I lose this profit? I should take it now. And suddenly your mind shifts. You are no longer thinking about that trade, you're thinking about protecting your profit, and that changes everything because now you're not trading your plan, you are trading your fear. So what do most traders do? They exit early, they take small profits, they feel relieved, and they tell themselves profit is profit. But what they don't realize is they just cut their biggest opportunity, because the trade that actually grows your account are not the small ones. They are the ones you hold, the ones that move significantly, the ones that take time. Those are exactly the trades most traders never fully capture. Why? Because holding a winner is psychologically uncomfortable. Think about it. When you are in a profit, there's something to lose. Your brain sees it as real. It feels like your money, and the idea of giving it back feels painful. So you try to avoid that plan. You close the trade, you lock in the profit, and you feel safe again. But safety in the trading often comes at the cost of growth. This is the part people don't talk about. Everyone focuses on entries, setups, but very few people focus on exits. And exits are where most of the money is made or lost. Because if your winners are small and your losers are normal, you can never grow. Even if your win rate is high, you might feel like you are doing well, but your account doesn't reflect that. And that creates frustration because now you are stuck in a loop. Win, small profit, one loss, and everything gets wiped. And then you start questioning everything, your strategy, your system, your approach. But the problem is not in your entries, it's your inability to hold. And holding is not a technical skill, it's a psychological one. It requires patience, it requires trust, it requires the ability to sit in uncertainty even when you are in profit, because the winning trade doesn't move in a straight line. It pulls back, it consolidates, it tests your conviction, and in those moments most traders exit, not because the trade is invalid, but because the feeling is uncomfortable. They confuse discomfort with danger, and that's a mistake, because if your plan is still valid, then the trade is still valid. But your emotions doesn't care about that. They want certainty, they want control, they want to lock in the results. And that's why most traders never catch big moves. They exit before the actual move happens. They are present for the beginning but absent for the outcome. So what's the solution? It's not just hold longer, that's too simple. You need structure, you need rules, you need a clear plan for exits before you even enter the trade. Where will you take partial profits? Where will you let the run rest? What would invalidate the trade? Because if you don't define this in advance, you will decide in the moment, and decisions made in the moment are driven by emotions, not logic. Another important shift is stop focusing on how much you can make and start focusing on how much you can let run. Because your biggest gain will never come from perfect entries, they will come from patience, from letting a good trade play out, from not interfering too early. And that's a completely different skill, one that most traders never develop, because it feels uncomfortable, it feels risky, it feels uncertain. But that's where growth is. So the next time you are in a winning trade and you feel the urge to close it early, pause for a moment and ask yourself, am I exiting because the trade is invalid, or because I'm feeling uncomfortable? Because those two are very different things, and if you can learn to recognize that difference, you will start holding your winners differently, not blindly but with intention. And that one change can completely transform your results. Because in trading, it's not about how often you win, it's about how much you make when you are right. And most traders never give themselves the chance to find out.